Earnest money, due diligence termination fee, what are those?
Let's help you with this confusion. Hi, I'm Vicki Crossland of Maybaum Real Estate. Let's start with earnest money. That is good faith money that you put towards the offer of the home that you are interested in. It sometimes goes along with the offer or after the contract is ratified, depending on the terms of the contract.
Hi, I'm Brandi Cook. As Vicki stated, it shows good faith that you're serious about the seller's property. As long as the buyer adheres to the terms and the deadlines of the contract, that earnest money is credit to you at closing.
Earnest money can be refundable to the buyer if there's a contingency within the contract, like subject to getting a loan or subject to an appraisal, and that for some reason is not met. It can be refundable.
An example would be, let's say you went under contract and it was contingent on the home appraising out. If the home did not appraise out to the purchase price and the seller and the buyer cannot agree on a new contract price, then that earnest money can potentially be returned back to the buyer.
Now let's move on to due diligence termination fee, which is very different than earnest money.
In South Carolina, the due diligence termination fee is negotiated between the seller and buyer during negotiations and is non-refundable.
Here's 3 important items all buyers and sellers should know about due diligence termination fees.
Number 1, the termination fee amount, which is tied to the due diligence period to allow for the buyer to do their due diligence inspection on the property.
Some examples of due diligence items are like a home inspection, checking out zoning, maybe verifying that square footage, room dimensions, checking out covenants, conditions and restrictions, we call those CC and Rs, anything that is important to you as a buyer.
This is not designed for contingencies such as financing or appraisals or other contingencies.
Now number 2, when should the termination fee be paid or delivered?
The termination fee would only be delivered if the buyer decides to terminate the contract during the due diligence period. In South Carolina, the termination fee should not be prepaid or included in the offer. We understand other states do this, but in South Carolina, that is not how it's done.
This termination fee is only due if the buyer chooses to terminate the contract, and it must be paid directly to the seller along with the termination notice.
And so you know, it needs to be delivered within the due diligence period.
That is true.
Number 3, buyers know your comfort level and your risk tolerance.
Buyers determine the amount of money you're willing to risk if you find out this property is not for you.
As a buyer, you may be asking why you should be paying a termination fee.
Here's a couple of examples and some perspective of why you should.
Your offer will stand out when the seller's reviewing your offer.
Sellers are often looking for a serious buyer that shows commitment to the property, and a termination fee shows commitment and that you're a serious buyer.
Shows that you have skin in the game. We're going to kind of give you an example so maybe you might have a better understanding. Just imagine you're shopping for a car. A lot of times you take that car to a mechanic and they check out underneath the hood to make sure everything is in proper working order. And there's a cost to doing that. This is the same thing for buying a house and having this termination fee for your due diligence period.
It's a cost for that opportunity.
Buyer, if you're terminating the contract because you cannot obtain financing, the house did not appraise out, or you didn't get a CL 100 letter, clear letter, or any other contingency, this does not fall under the due diligence termination fee, and a fee is not owed to the seller.
Brandi and I consider this like real estate 101, and there's really important information for buyers and sellers to know. And if you have a question, direct message us, comment below, because we'll maybe add a video on it or we answer you directly. If you'd like more information, just reach out to us because we want to provide you exceptional real estate service. It's a big decision, we know.
We're here to help. Remember to like our page and subscribe to our YouTube channel to stay up to date with all of our current and future videos. It's your home, your lifestyle, and
We are your real estate team.